How's it going, everyone? I hope you're all doing well, and this has certainly been a week. I've been using the new-ish iPhone 12 as my daily driver for about 6 months now, and in my time with it, it's been fantastic. I've loved the screen size, the dual cameras, and the 5G capabilities. However, back in 2016, Apple announced the original iPhone SE, specifically this one, and seeing as this thing got iOS 14, I'm interested in seeing how this thing performs in 2021. But instead of doing a review, because I don't recommend you go out and buy this phone, I thought I'd live with it for a week and report on my experience. Now, I do want to clarify, I know I did do this challenge last year, but a lot can change in the space of a year. I mean, the iPhone SE has got iOS 14 now, so I do think it'd be interesting to see how well one of Apple's budget options has progressed with time. Anyway, let's get into it. If you've seen me do one of these challenges before, then you might know that the first day is usually setting up the phone and getting used to it. There were a few apps that I knew I needed in order to make this phone my daily driver, namely YouTube, Twitter, and Telegram. I also set up my iCloud, iMessage, and my Apple Music, because always important to have some tunes. And after this, it was time to get on with the first day. All right, so this is the first time I've done something semi-off script in like a month. I got a new sweater. I've just finished setting up the iPhone SE for this week-long challenge, and I'm ready to get started. As I said in voiceover, today is an editing day, so I'm probably not going to use my phone all that much. I do occasionally need to check my scripts though and see any little notes I might have left myself for editing, but as a whole, this first day should be pretty easy in theory. Anyway, I'm going to go do some editing, then we'll cut back to the next time I need to use my phone. As always, it was kind of tough. I find that whenever I switch to a new phone, it's often pretty tough to get used to it, especially on the first day. However, unlike a new phone, there's none of that tech buzz to conceal the difficulties. I started this challenge on Wednesday, and I was putting some final touches to my iPhone 11 review, so I really didn't need to use my phone that much until evening, where I wanted to watch some videos to relax. Alright, so that took much longer than I expected it to. I mean, I'm not sure why I expected that. The last bits of the edit always take forever, and I've got to say, this was no exception. My computer was also seriously slow throughout this edit. I'm gonna reset it tonight, see if that does the trick. And currently I am relaxing, watching some videos on the iPhone SE. As we can see, it is currently Wednesday the 10th of March. Just noticed I haven't put my SIM in there yet. Definitely need to remember to do that. Anyway, I have immediately noticed the drop in screen. That's definitely something that I'm gonna have to get used to. I mean, coming from the 6.1-inch iPhone 12 to the 4.7-inch iPhone SE, that's certainly more of a jump than when I originally did this challenge, because back then I had the iPhone 10. Honestly, that was enough of a jump back then. But this is definitely gonna take some getting used to. And what better way to do that than watch some videos, I suppose. Gonna close off today here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Day 2, good morning. It's actually sunny today. Today is gonna be a bit of a chill day since yesterday I got almost all of my work done on the iPhone 11 review. Gonna upload that today. So I thought, kind of want to make some music today, but also seeing as it is a little bit of a laid-back chill day today, I probably am going to spend a little bit more time using the iPhone SE. Might watch some videos, might take some photos. I was actually planning to do that tomorrow though, so guess we'll see how the day plans out. By the way, I also kind of wanted to introduce you guys to my new studio. So, no, it's been in the background of a couple of videos now, and I've tweeted about it a couple of times, but this is it. Just got this foam eyeball thing to help with voiceovers. You look in there, you can see my mic. Then I have my other mic that I don't really use anymore. Don't particularly like how this mic sounds on my voice, so I prefer this one. We also have this blue ball from IKEA. It is a little bit of a mess at the moment because, as I said, I've just been editing a video. Also, these lights turn on, but they're not at the moment for some reason. Another light there. And that's about it, really. I used the iPhone SE in the morning to message my friends and check Twitter, which was fine. Again, with some accidental misclicks, but nothing too serious. No, that didn't come until later. Usually on upload days, I'll spend an hour or so responding to you guys, and I usually do this from my phone. Let's just say this was kind of frustrating. Typing lots of comments on a keyboard this small after using the iPhone 12 for half a year was certainly something I needed to get used to. And overall, it did mean that responding to these comments took significantly longer than usual. I ended the second day still completely uncomfortable using the iPhone SE as my main phone, and I was hoping that the next day would be a little bit more positive. Day 3 was another pretty chill day for me, and as usual on these pretty chill days, I tend to use my phone significantly more. In terms of work, this was a scripting day, and I often do a fair amount of that scripting on my phone. Now, the keyboard wasn't really an issue here, purely because I don't actually use the keyboard that much when I'm scripting my videos. However, the small screen did bring its own unique challenges. For one, proofreading was a little bit more difficult, and so while I didn't have any inherent difficulties typing, there was still a unique set of challenges presented by using this phone to help me script one of my videos. I also wanted to try to take some photos today, seeing as I think I have been a little bit spoiled by the iPhone 12. I mean, come on, the dual camera system, all that cool new tech, it's kind of easy for me to get spoiled, so I decided to go out, take some photos with this phone, and see if I could have a good time. Right, so I've actually just finished going out to take photos. Unfortunately, kind of wasn't the spring photo shoot I was hoping for. Also, the weather certainly wasn't on our side. I think we had the best of the weather yesterday, so would have been good to do the photo shoot then. Oh well, I mean, clouds are good for soft light, I suppose. Overall, I was pretty impressed with the camera quality. I mean, of course, there were some limitations. No portrait mode, only one focal length. Also, the selfie camera kind of sucked. But once I got used to those things and was planning around them, honestly, I found the camera quality to be pretty good. I mean, obviously we got some samples, and honestly, I'm finding I'm getting used to the iPhone SE. On day 4, I decided to try something new. I actually wanted to install some games on the iPhone SE and see how much I could actually get out of this phone. Before I installed any games though, the first thing I decided to do was take advantage of iOS 14. I decided that despite the small screen, I still wanted to be able to see my weather information as well as have a music widget and clean up my home screen so I could make the best of the space that I had. I removed any non-essential apps that I didn't use daily, which I don't usually do, but I figured the smaller screen might actually benefit from this. After this, I did go ahead and install some games, including my favorite casual mobile game, Coffee Corp, which I've been enjoying for a very long time now and actually appears in most of my reviews. Now, obviously, the performance was not up to the standard I was used to with the iPhone 12, but especially in the casual games that I like to play, I didn't really have any performance issues whatsoever. I'd say the biggest hindrance to my enjoyment was, again, the screen size. Something else that I've noticed this far in the challenge was that the battery life really wasn't an issue for me. I mean, in the past, when I've used older iPhones like the iPhone 6S or even the 4S, battery life has always been one of the main issues. However, I'm not sure whether it was down to the smaller screen, decent processing, or whether it's simply because I've been using it less. I found that I was getting through my day with the iPhone SE mostly fine. Now, of course, there was occasionally the odd day where I needed to plug my phone in during the afternoon, but pretty much throughout this challenge, at least at this point, I really hadn't had an issue with the battery life. I closed off day 4, still not quite used to the screen size, but still, especially with the new system in place, I was looking forward to day 5. Alright, so how's it going, guys? Day 5 now. I think this might end up actually being the last day. I mean, maybe we'll check in tomorrow, but chances are, I mean, I am definitely used to it now, especially with the new system. It's currently like 1 o'clock. I've been using the phone pretty much all day, and certainly with this new system in place where I do have more home screen real estate, this is a much more manageable system. Now, of course, some things I have noticed throughout this week, I've been using my phone a lot less, as I already said, so maybe if you think you're using your phone too much and you have an iPhone SE lying around, maybe give it a go. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Certainly throughout this lockdown period, I have noticed that my screen time has been slowly creeping up again. If you remember last year, I did do that 1 hour a day screen time challenge, and so, I don't know, I mean, I might stay with the SE just a little bit longer. Certainly less distracting than having a big glowing screen on your desk. Either way though, again, while I do think this is a usable phone in 2021, it's certainly not ideal, and I wouldn't recommend going out and buying one because chances are iOS 14 is going to be the last operating system this phone gets, but it would be completely unfair to ignore all of the benefits that iOS 14 has brought the SE. So realistically, I'm actually quite glad that it got iOS 14, and I certainly think it made it more usable.
I don't know the scientific explanation, but
iOS 14.
Made it good.
Kinda wish I'd taken advantage of some of those features earlier. In fact, this is a rare case where I think the iPhone SE has got better with age. I mean, this challenge was undoubtedly easier than when I attempted it last year. Still though, don't buy this phone for 2021, it's not gonna last too long. But if you know someone who needs like their first phone or an introduction to iOS, then the iPhone SE should do totally fine. After day 5, considering I was completely used to the phone, I didn't even bother documenting the next 2 days. I used the iPhone SE as I normally would my iPhone 12, although granted slightly less, and overall, I would very much consider this challenge a success. Alright, so what have we learned from this challenge? Well, I think the first obvious thing that we've learned despite its age is that the iPhone SE is still totally capable in 2021, especially if set up right. I mean, with a few tweaks and iOS 14, I had a pretty great time using this phone. The second thing I learned, and maybe not so obvious at first, at least in my experience, I do tend to find that I use my phone more when I have a big, glowing, glaring screen. So having the smaller screen of the iPhone SE did mean that I use my phone less. And I mean, this experience has got me reconsidering my iPhone 12. In fact, now I'm strongly considering switching over to the iPhone 12 mini, but haven't quite decided yet, so I guess we'll have to find out in another video. But that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this one. By the way, yes, I did spend most of the week wearing this shirt. Just got it, I liked it, I washed it so I could wear it again. I tend to do that when I get something like a sweater that I really like. Let me know, by the way, have you ever owned an iPhone SE? Whether that be this one or the 2020 version. Always like reading your comments. As for now though, as always, thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, and smash that subscribe button. I'm done for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.